Hi everyone, my name's James and I'm going to give you a little review of my Brompton. I've had it for about 6 months now, so I'm just going to talk you through the specs, why I bought it and how it's going. So we'll start off with the spec. So it's a Brompton C-line. So this is like the standard Brompton that you get. It's a all steel frame. This is the Explorer model as well, so it's got 6 gears, and I've got it in the Flame Lacquer edition. So we'll start off with the frame. Like I say, it's an all steel frame, and I've got it in the Flame Lacquer edition. The reason why I chose this is because the other colours that you mainly get with the Brompton C-line are all like a matte finish, which I don't really like because it just scratches a little bit too easy. And not only that, with this Flame Lacquer edition, it like the wells here, or brazing for its proper term, it really pots them out. And so, like for me, being a former welder, I can appreciate how much of an art it is to weld, and you do have to put some kind of like passion into your work when it comes to welding. And it's great to see how well the Brompton staff do when it comes to brazing. And also this Flame Lacquer edition, you get some nice little detail in the colour, and it's just really nice. It costs around about £100 more than your normal colours that you get, but I think it's worth it. Just one thing to mention, when you do get your bike, I highly recommend that you get some frame protection stickers, just for all the contact points with the cables here, on the mud guards. You've got this little bit on the frame here, and then when you fold it up as well, you get some different contact points from what they are now. So you need to put some frame protection stickers on there, 'cause if you don't put the frame protection stickers on there, it just obviously it wears through the paint, which you don't really want to have happen. So these tyres that come on the bike, these are Schwalbe, I think the Marathon, I think they are. Obviously standard tyres that you get on the Brompton. Touch wood, I've had no punctures so far, and the cycle path that I use to and from work every day, you can see there's like bits of glass all over the place, and although I do my best to avoid it, I'm pretty sure that at some point I do run over a few little bits. But yeah, touch wood, I've had no punctures, and they seem pretty tough and durable, and so that's all good. This is the first bike I've had well, in like 6 years where it's come with mud guards, and I've never really appreciated how good they are. So you know, it keeps you nice and dry, particularly when it's been raining. And when I've always had like my road bike, I've always like ended up coming to work with a wet backside, and it's not very nice. So yeah, having the mud guards, it's really nice. Nice little feature that I've never had before. So now we'll go into the drivetrain, or the gears. So like I say, it's the Explorer model, so it's a 6-speed. You've got the 2-speed sprocket like you find on any other bike out there, but then you've got the 3-geared internal hub at the back, which I do like the internal hub. Obviously you don't have to do any maintenance to it, and also it's like if you come to a stop and you find yourself in the wrong gear, you don't have to like move the pedals around to get it into correct gear. You can just, with the internal hub, you have to stop pedaling to change gear, and so when you're at the traffic light, you can just flick it into whatever gear you need to be, and away you go. So that seems pretty nice. I do like the gears. It took some getting used to, because obviously before I had a road bike, and the gear ratio is a bit more refined, whereas with this with the Brompton, it's you know, it's kind of like the higher gear ratio, so you find yourself grinding a bit and spinning a bit more than what you would do on a normal road bike. So, but once you get used to like changing the gears and everything like that, it's not too bad. And I'm glad that I went for the 6-speed as well, rather than the urban, because, you know, I've got quite a few hills around my area, and so yeah, I mean, the more gears the better, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's all pretty good, and even with I think it's a 50 tooth on the front, it's a, you know, standard chainring that I got, and even with the 50 tooth, hills aren't really a problem for me. That low gear ratio, like the easiest gear, it's pretty good. It's kind of like having it feels like to me like it's like if you had a road bike, it'd be something like if you had like a, I don't know, maybe a 25 tooth on the back, something like that. So it's not bad, and it is manageable on the hills. So we'll move on to the saddle. So this is the standard saddle that you get with your Brompton. I've added the BC lights at the back. Obviously it's a Brompton's own lights, and it mounts directly to the saddle underneath. Like I said, my commute is pretty well lit, so I don't need the brightest lights in the world. And but yeah, I mean, the saddle itself is pretty nice, soft saddle. And my commute is just 5 miles, so I don't need anything drastic. But I mean, somebody's recommended that I should try the Brooks saddle, but like I said, I'm not in any rush to change it, and it's pretty comfortable enough as it is. We'll move on to the handlebars next, and this is where I got into like a little bit of a debate with the salesperson at Brompton. I got it up J. James up just off Bramall Lane in Sheffield, and the guy that I was speaking to, obviously we're talking about the handlebar size, and I really wanted the low handlebar, just for the reason I thought it just looked a little bit better than the mid handlebar, which is what this one is. But the guy that I was talking to, he asked me for my size, and I said that obviously I'm 6 foot, and but I said that I want the low handlebar, and he just looked at me and he went, "No." I goes, "No, it's all right, mate. I'll go for the low handlebar." He just looked at me again and went, "No." He says, "Trust me, mate." I says, "I've been selling Bromptons for the last 5 years. Says, trust me, when it comes to handlebar size, you're better off with the mid handlebar. It says that it changes my riding position quite a lot, and it would be a lot more comfortable if I went for the mid handlebar." You know, and I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, like, mate, I don't want to sound funny, mate, but it's my bike, and I want the low handlebar. And again, he just looked at me and went, "No." So I'm like, right, okay. But he says, "Just trust me, mate." It says, you'll thank me later. Go for the mid handlebar, and your ride will be a lot better." And I don't know why I gave in to the blue bloke, and I took his advice, went for the mid handlebar, and I guess when I take it back for its next service, I'll probably thank him a lot for it, because it is actually just about perfect. And when I'm riding along, I always put like my hands where the low handlebar should be, and it does actually make a pretty big difference to the way you are. You do seem to lean over a lot more, even though it's such a small difference in height. It really does affect how it would ride, I would imagine. So yeah, I'll probably thank him when I see him, but it did piss me off. But yeah, thanks anyway. But yeah, so this lever on the left hand side, that one there, that just controls the 2-speed sprocket. So obviously you just change that as you would do on any road bike, mountain bike, or whatever. And then on the right hand side, you've got the 3-speed internal hub, And obviously, as I mentioned, you need to stop pedalling to change that gear. Otherwise it won't change, and also you just risk breaking it. So yeah, stop pedaling just for a second, pop it into gear, and when you do that, it works pretty nicely. And like I say, everything's all Brompton's own brand. I do like the little details with the Brompton logos and everything like that. These are standard grips. They're not, you know, they're not amazing, but they're not bad. I probably will change them out at some point. But again, I'm not really that desperate. It does the job pretty well. And like I say, just with the back as well, I've also put a front be seen light. And like I said before, you know, my route's pretty well lit, so I don't need the brightest light, so these work pretty well. But yeah, they're all fine. Okay, so the only complaint that I'm going to make about this bike is going to be about these wheels on the back. Now, when it's all fully folded up, there's literally about 1 millimetre clearance, and if you're on like any if it's not completely flat terrain, it won't roll very well. I mean from my point of view, it doesn't really matter because I'm not really using the rollers that much. So basically I just cycle to work, fold it up, go upstairs, and that's it. I don't really use it. I don't really do any shopping on it. It's just a commute bike for me to get to and from work. But obviously at some point I might want to take it out to a supermarket or whatever. I might want to roll it around, but these wheels are just too small for the job. They just won't do it very well. And obviously Brompton know about it, because if you go on their website, they've got I think they're called Easy Wheels or something like that, and they cost around about 20 to 30 quid. And this is where it's kind of like pissed me off a little bit with Brompton, because if you know about the wheels being too small, then why sell them in the first place? I mean, why not put them Easy Wheels on as standard and make it a lot easier for us? I just don't get it. And then they're just too small for the job. And I've seen other videos online where people have tried pushing it along with these standard wheels, and they've ended up like wearing out other components. I think the main one that gets worn out is this suspension block on the back. And obviously you don't want anything wearing out, and you do pay a lot of money back for the bike. You know, it's not cheap. You're talking about 1,500 quid, and for the sake of like 20 or 30 quid, you know, just put the bloody Easy Wheels on as standard and make it a lot easier for us. But yeah, I mean that's my only complaint. It's just them wheels they're just not good enough, and you can just about make out the level. You know, it's pretty tight. And yeah, Brompton, just put the wheels on, please. So yeah, my overall review of the Brompton, I love it. You know, I bought the bike as a commuter bike, so I looked at the riding that I do, and I'm literally just cycling to and from work. I'm not really doing any extra miles. And I mean, the other thing as well, I've recently moved house, and this is not a lot of room. And I was pissing my wife off with the road bike being inside, being a bit, just using a lot more space than what she'd like. She tried making me put it outside, and I told her where to go on that one. But yeah, obviously I looked at my issue with the space at home and the type of riding that I do, and it just makes sense to get the Brompton. And I was a little bit, you know, like, oh, should I get a Brompton, because it's such a big difference, like in terms of like wheel size and everything like that. But I love it. You know, I'm not too fussed about how quick and how slow I get to work. So, you know, it does the job really well. It seems pretty tough, pretty well built. And but yeah, in 6 months I've enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it that much that, yeah, I've sold the road bike. That's gone, and this is just my one and only bike that I've got now. And yeah, I love it to bits. And you know, would I be interested in going for an upgrade or anything like that? So obviously it's C line, it's standard edition. You've also got the, I think the next level up is the P line, which saves around about 2 kilos. So as this one is right now, it's I think it's just between like 11 and 12 kilograms, and the P line drops 2 kilograms, but it's like £1,000 more expensive. Do I need that? No. You've got the T line as well, which is all titanium, and that saves a further 2 kilograms on that P line, but that's even more expensive. I think it's over like £4,000, which is like stupid amount of money. Again, do I need a T line? No, not really. The only one I'd be interested in going for, I think, would be the electric Brompton, just for a simple reason. I've got quite a few more hills around this area, and it'd be nice just to like take some different routes, and there are some like routes that I avoid just because it's like 20% gradients, all that kind of stuff. So having an electric Brompton would help with that, and it would be nice to, like, you know, like I say, do some different routes going to and from work, just, you know, make it a little bit more interesting. But yeah, as it is, Brompton C line, perfect commuter bike. Definitely going to be sticking around for it. Any upgrades? I don't know. I might look at changing the saddle maybe if I do want to do any extra miles. Like I say, people recommend the Brook saddle, so I might look at that. Let me change those grips. I just don't like looking at them. They're like just standard grips, and yeah, I will change them. And then one thing I might do when these tyres eventually wear down, I might put some, I think they're called time wall tyres. Just for a visual point of view, I just think it'll make the bike look a lot better. But I'm not in any rush. Like I say, the tyres are pretty well built, so there's no need to change those. So that's my review of my Brompton. Like I say, I've had it for 6 months, and it's been a great bike to ride. So hopefully many more happy miles on it, and we'll see how the future miles go on. But yeah, really enjoying it. So thanks for watching.